and welcome to this week's episode of Seattle to Unknown. I am Mellinda.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are a struggling travel podcast in 2020. The year that just keeps on hitting.
Yeah, not a big year for the travel infotainment market.
No. Travel is almost non-existent right now unless it's business, I don't know, or
even then, I had some acquaintances recently tell me that they're going on beach vacations because the virus dies in the sun. I was like, not when there's huge crowds at the beach.
Do you just pretend to pat them on the head and be like, good luck out there, special baby?
And then make a mental note, do not interact with this person for like a month.
I mean, you might as well.
Or just after that as well.
Yeah.
Because the kind of person who says, you know what, I'm going to take a beach vacation is the kind of person who is disregarding other suggestions as well.
But here we are, only hoping that, hopefully later in the year, things will give us the opportunity to travel, or it's really going to be sad to think that it's going to be next year. I don't know, that hurts.
Yeah, it really does. And I keep thinking, just take a de-stressing, self-care staycation. But then the petulant child in me goes, but I don't wanna. I want a real vacation.
I want to go outside.
I want to play with my friends.
I'm sorry, who? You got those?
I want to play with my dog.
Yeah, you can do that in the house.
I have so much time to do that.
Yeah, that's the problem. Do we have any weekly updates besides that the world is still in pandemic smoldering? Well, it's not even smoldering. It's burning, but not as hot.
Excuse me. I don't know that I do. There's just not a ton going on. My life is not super interesting. All I do is stare at my own four walls.
But let's be honest, that was mostly your life before the pandemic hit.
Yeah, but at least then, I went to work. I had work to do. Ooh, I do have an update. Breaking news. We have gotten our first download in the Middle East.
What? That's awesome. Welcome, friend.
Yeah. We have one download in Iran.
And that is our best friend in Iran.
Hey, buddy. Nice to meet ya.
Thanks for downloading. Please check out our back catalog, where some episodes might be better than others.
Although, remember when we were getting those downloads in Belarus, and then when we talked about Belarus on the show, we immediately stopped getting more downloads from Belarus? Maybe we should not point this out. Did we just jinx
ourselves? Don't leave! They're like, oh, that's awkward. They're literally talking about me. Bye!
Ooh, this is so creepy. It's like that time, this was ages and ages ago, I made a joke about this guy who had sort of an internet project that involved harassing Lorne Michaels from SNL with daily letters about why he should be a writer on the show. And I made a joke about the guy, and then he wrote Lorne Michaels a letter about me. It's like, I Googled my name, and I found this person talking about me. And then he, mentioned me by name. And it was very creepy. So, if that guy's out there,
hey,
please stop. It was very strange. I checked his update on his website, and I was reading that day's letter. I was like, oh no, that's me.
Yeah. Shall we move on from that little horrifying tidbit?
Yes, we shall.
Alright, so today's Quaranteeny episode is all about, getting to know you and your travel. It's a little would you rather-ish. It's a little let's chat.
Getting to know you, getting to hope you like me. I don't remember how that song goes.
It just makes me think of the Addams Family.
Is it in Addams Family? It's from The King and I think.
It might... No, it is. It's in the first one.
I haven't seen either of
'Cause
those
then
since
they
we
have-
went to
Get Out.
the
We're not friends anymore.
I'm sorry. I haven't seen that movie since we went to the movie night at Hollywood Forever.
Watching the Addams Family in a cemetery near Vampira and Mel Blanc, right? We walked past them on the way in. That's like the coolest friggin' thing ever. I think that was the night with IKEA girl too.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, what's up, IKEA girl?
I love going to movies there because it's such good people watching. It's such like an interesting cross section of LA.
But it's like it has to be all the best people too. You know what I mean? I bet I can make friends with a lot of them. We definitely got a better seat that time than we did the first time we went. And we saw Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah, that was fun. I do miss stuff like that.
Yeah. Seeing people, actual other people.
No, move back to California so I can hang out in cemeteries and watch movies and not get arrested.
I feel like other places need to do that, but I think the weather is too unpredictable elsewhere.
Oh, yeah, like, you can't do that here in Washington, or at least my side.
Obviously not all of elsewhere, because that's most of the world, but, like, if you go too much further north, you're going to get a whole lot of canceled movies due to the weather.
Yeah. This is true.
But that's a fun travel tidbit.
Yeah.
When you can travel again, if you go to Los Angeles, there's a very large, very famous cemetery there that projects movies on the side of a wall during the summer.
Mausoleum.
You have to get tickets super far in advance because they sell out quickly. But if you get tickets, it's awesome. Like, bring a full-on picnic, bring chairs that sit on the ground. You can't sit up.
You need, like, low chairs.
In, like, folding
Don't be
chairs,
an asshole.
Yeah, I don't think they'll even let you in with chairs that are more than a few inches off the ground. But, like, I've seen people bring literal, like, Japanese-style tables that only sit off the ground a few inches, and they have a whole, like, smorgasbord of stuff to eat.
Do that. Share with your neighbors. They're jealous.
And you can drink. It's one of the few times you can drink in public.
Good times all around. Highly recommend.
Yeah. Very fun.
But speaking about questions and recommendations, let's get into this list I have prepared for you today. Oh, by list I prepared, I mean that I really got it from... Hang on. thecareerbreaksite.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was unexpected.
Yeah, that's the website that I got this list from. So there might be a part 2 because it is rather long. Or maybe a 3, I don't know. But, Sarah, what's been your favorite place so far?
Are we talking city, country?
Whatever makes it easier for you to pick one.
I would probably say Osaka.
Oh, you're going specific.
What were you going to say? Europe?
Japan.
Asia?
No, Japan. It's so darn cute.
I mean, I think as a half Japanese person, you can say, oh, they're just so cute. I'm not going to quite put it that way.
Everything is so freaking cute. It's just, it was a nice experience. Very friendly people. Just completely different than being in the States, which is magical and glorious. All the vending machines that you could possibly want to walk past.
I felt like things in Japan were so much more thoughtfully arranged. Like, the ability to get from point A to point B was so easy.
Yes.
Everything in the hotels and hostels we stayed at were very, like, not necessarily luxurious, but so well thought out.
Yes. Yeah, it's just, well done, Japan. You put yourself together really nicely.
Japan is one of the few places where after I visit it, it doesn't automatically go back to the bottom of the list. Like,
No, I would love to go back anytime.
It's like, I went to London, I was like, I love London. London is so, it's a world away, metaphorically and physically, but like I just loved it. But am I going to go back anytime soon for vacation reasons? Probably not. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to going back, but it's not like, oh, I gotta go back there soon.
Honestly, I feel like Japan and South Korea are ones where, like, I would love to go back at any point and multiple times.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're just fun places.
If you were like, hey, I know we said we do Peru, but would you be okay with going to, and I'd shout, Japan? I'd be like, yeah, cool, let's go.
I want to go to Peru, damn it.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I know. That's still my end game, too. I mean, technically, we should be there right now.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, we would.
We'd be returning today or tomorrow.
Future. But yeah, 2020 had different plans.
Yeah. For once, it was not my fault.
Ooh, maybe. I might let you have that.
I did not create COVID.
But on a happier note, would you rather swim with dolphins or go shark diving?
I've done one of those two things.
Shark diving all the way.
So I would try shark diving, as long as I'm in a cage. I'm not an idiot who's going to, like, stick her arm out too terribly.
Yeah, my assumption this is,
arms
like,
will stay inside the cage.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather go shark diving, honestly. Sounds way more interesting. Be like, you know what I just did on vacation? Shark dive.
Yeah, I'm totally game for sharks. And there's plenty of sharks that just don't bite at all anyway. I wouldn't mind hanging out with some of those sharks, with or without a cage.
Yeah, the less aggressive ones.
Like nurse sharks, are those the ones?
I think so.
Or like whale sharks, I think. Don't quote me on that. Please don't go diving with any of these animals based solely on the fact that I just said I don't think they bite.
You're not experts featured on Shark Week, so yeah. We're not shark
Hell, they won't even let us on Shark Tank.
We don't have anything to even present on Shark Tank.
Sharks, I come to you with my business model for my company, where we swim with random sharks that we have not researched.
Shark dive!
I would like $100,000 for 10% of my business.
Where I will buy some books about sharks. Maybe about diving,
and then
too.
like fly around looking for some sharks.
Yeah. But what is your top place for your bucket list?
My top bucket list place. Okay, this is going to be a little bit non-specific specific. You follow me?
Good Lord.
I would really like to go somewhere where I can see a total solar eclipse.
Oh, okay.
And next year, that will be in Antarctica. And I know that I will not have the money to go to Antarctica next year. But that would be, like, the ultimate to see a solar eclipse from Antarctica.
You know what would be, like, even more major? Seeing a total solar eclipse from, like, a world wonder or some very historic old ruins, remains, like Stonehenge, Machu Picchu, the pyramids.
As far as I know, the path of the next solar eclipse doesn't pass anything in terms of world wonders, because it goes over like the southern tip of Chile and then over Antarctica, and then it's over.
Yeah, we can go to Chile. It's cool.
It's not
but
quite
I'm just
the
saying
same
that
as
would
a pyramid,
be like
though.
That would be like probably like ultimate solar eclipse.
I wish it were slightly higher so you could see it from Easter Island.
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. Something like that. That would be so rad.
Yeah.
The last solar eclipse that we had that was visible from my location, it was sleepy time for me because I worked the night before. So it's like, oh, look, it's dark out. Perfect. Sleepy time. It's supposed to be sleeping anyways.
Well, you get the same experience. It's just blackness. You just electively saw blackness through your eyelids.
Well, no, I saw it get dark outside. I'm like, but I wasn't outside to look at it because it was behind her house. And I'm like, good enough. Night night.
What about you? What's your number one bucket list place?
Besides getting to Peru and Machu Picchu, I would really like to go to Ascension Island.
Tell me more. Why?
Because it's itty bitty. I'm pretty sure it had a turtle, a part of its passport stamp.
Okay.
But it's like itty bitty, and I don't know how many people actually know about its existence.
I can't say I know anything about it.
Yeah, so why not? It'd be kind of rad.
Moose agrees.
Yes. What's one thing you can't travel without?
I mean... Stop.
I'm sorry, is there a Wookiee with you right now?
Come here, Moose. Come here. What's up?
Because it sounds like there's a very sad Wookiee.
I think the Wookiee needs to pee.
Murr.
I'm trying to find something to distract him with. Hey, Moose, come here. It's like, I don't want whatever that is. You know, honestly, there's not a whole lot. Like, my passport and a battery? No, a passport and, like, a camera of some
Your
sort.
passport's a kind of a given. A camera.
Then a camera. I think everything else I could figure out a way to make do without. What's your number one must travel item?
That's a lot harder than it should be.
See?
Yeah, I know. A set of clean clothes to go home in.
Yeah, you could wash clothes.
Yeah, you say that, and then you travel with Sarah, and sometimes it's only semi-clean.
Yeah, well, when we have to hand wash.
When in Norway?
Yeah, that was unpleasant.
Do you prefer to travel solo or with somebody else?
It depends. Like, I derive enjoyment from traveling solo just like I do with traveling with someone else. It's just different.
And traveling with this person other than this person is also different experiences.
Yeah. Granted, I really only have traveled with you. Like, I've done group traveling, but I've never done, like, one-on-one with someone besides you.
Loser. But I am a solid choice, always.
Yeah, the difference is you have friends who like traveling, and I have friends who like talking about traveling, but not doing.
And where do I go in this friend situation?
You're the exception.
Okay, thank you. How about Machu Picchu or Angkor Wat? What? Mine's obvious.
I'd be game for either.
Same, honestly, but I'd rather go to Machu Picchu first.
I don't have a preference because I've not been to either. They're both equally on the list.
But llamas.
But large temple.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's the one person at home that you miss the most? This is only applicable to you. Since you live abroad.
I miss them equally? Like, there's... Wow. The thing is that my default is that I'm away from my family, and I have been for 10 years.
And you're like, it's fine.
It's not that it's fine, it's just that my default existence is away from them, and I can't live my life constantly missing people. Like, that feeling exists, but I can't have it on the forefront of my mind.
Well, it doesn't matter because your answer was supposed to be me.
I talk to you every single week. I see your face more than I see any other human's face.
As it should be. Again, solid choice right here. What home comfort do you miss the most, though?
Target?
Target?
I miss Target. Like, walking down an aisle and just grabbing random shit you don't need. It's the best.
You know, that's totally fair because I'm pretty sure I have to go on a Target run later today.
The thing is that Target is an interesting, like, middle of the road. It's not super expensive, but you get decent quality and, like, aesthetically pleasing things.
Hashtag not getting paid to say this.
Yeah, obviously not. Target's not lining up to sponsor a podcast.
It would be cool, though.
But, like, I don't think there's an equivalent here. There are things that are aesthetically pleasing, but really stupid cheap and not good quality. But there's no, like, you can buy this and it's decent quality and it looks nice. There's decent quality, but it looks crap. And there's decent quality that looks nice that is ungodly expensive. But there's not just, like, the middle ground.
Fair.
Or if there is, please message me because I want to go to this Mecca.
This almost Target Mecca. What has been the most interesting item of food you've tasted, though?
Pretty much everything at the Disgusting Food Museum.
Yeah, that really set the standard for foods. Because,
yeah, I mean,
we gotta try so many different things from so many different places.
Yes, if you have not heard of it or you haven't listened to the episode where we talk about it, in Malmo, Sweden, there is a museum of disgusting food, or it's the Disgusting Food Museum, one of the two phrasings. And you get to go through and see and smell and touch all kinds of random foods. And then at the end, there's a tasting bar where it's kind of the ideal because I think we're both adventurous enough eaters that we'd be willing to try a bunch of weird things, but you don't necessarily want to buy them.
We ate bugs.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. We ate, like, fermented fish that had been soaked in urine and, like, all kinds of weird shit.
Shark.
But there are all kinds of things that you might want to try once, but you don't need more than a bite of, and you certainly don't want to buy, like, a full thing.
God, no. No. Well, I mean, if you got the stinky fish in a can, that's, like, the thing in Sweden, you have to open that outside.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it's an outdoor activity, and it's going to get into your clothes.
So you got to try all of these things that, hell, maybe you like them, maybe you don't, but you got to try them risk-free.
It was worth it.
Yep.
What's the food you miss from your home country the most?
Two things. Crappy mac and cheese.
Okay, I'm like, are they actually, like, American things?
Crappy mac and cheese and Tim's Cascade potato chips.
Ooh. Good choice.
Or
what if you crunched up those chips and put it on your mac and cheese before you baked it?
I don't know about that. I also miss, like, semi-legit Mexican food.
Yeah, not a big thing in Germany, huh?
No, although I did find a place in northern Germany that ships out taco packs. They ship it same day, and it's like a kilo of one type of meat, a kilo of another type of meat, and then 20 fresh handmade tortillas and 2 sauces.
Handmade fresh tortillas are magic.
Yeah, and it's incredible, but because it's far away, the shipping is kind of expensive, so it's like a quarterly at most activity.
We're celebrating something with tacos, damn it.
It's Taco Tuesday once in the middle of the quarter.
Which country makes the best coffee or tea?
I have zero opinion. I can't tell I can't really taste the difference in coffee, and I don't love tea, so I would have no idea. But I've heard Turkey is good, and also Cuba.
Places we have not gone to.
Yeah. But I'd try coffee there. Oh man, that would suck. Going to either of those places and finding out they have the best coffee and then having to go home and drink the regular stuff.
I would buy a bunch and take it with me. Duh. And then cry when it's gone.
It's just setting yourself up for heartbreak.
If you could only ever eat rice or potatoes, which one would you choose?
Oh, that's just cruel.
I know my answer, but...
the thing is I would put rice with anything. I love rice. But French fries and mashed potatoes also exist.
Sarah did some work on those mashed potatoes that we got with the meatballs in Sweden.
I love mashed potatoes.
I would totally pick rice. I mean, I love a good French fry. I love a good tater tot and mashed potatoes. Like, I am a fry junkie, but I can't go without rice.
I mean, curly fries.
Everything goes with rice. That's what I've learned.
Curly fries alone would be a struggle to give up.
Yeah, but like...
And I don't even have them that often.
When you get bad fries, it's so disappointing. I would give up potatoes to have my rice, though.
Yeah,
That's the name of my memoir.
At least it's not the title of your sex tape.
No, that has a different title.
God, I hope so.
It's called Rice Forever. I don't know. Sarah, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Who would win in a fight? A polar bear with a rifle or a shark with a laser gun?
A polar bear with a rifle. Because a polar bear can attack on land and sea.
You don't think their massive paws will be a little problematic with a rifle?
I think that's just additional weapons.
You don't like the idea of a shark with a laser gun?
Again, with the frickin' sharks with the laser beams.
I don't know how that would work out either, but it makes me laugh. I don't know how either of these would work out.
I also don't know what the relevance is, but I'm going with it.
There is no relevance. I just want to know who you think would win in a fight.
Yeah, I mean, even without the gun, I still think it'd be the polar bear. Huh, buddy? Do you agree with Mama?
Nope, but he does want to know which country has the friendliest people.
I don't think we've... Well, I think we've been to one place where the people weren't super friendly. But I'd say on the whole, Japan was the friendliest. Nowhere has been super unfriendly, but Japan was like above and beyond friendly.
That just makes me think of... I think it was when we were in Osaka, and like the welcome to the hotel like welcome thing, like flip through illustration things about like the rules and everything, and they wanted us to join for the takoyaki night. And like the older lady that was running it just wanted to make sure that we had everything we needed for our dinner.
And
yeah,
just everywhere we went, like they rolled out the welcome wagon. It was just so sweet and like effusive.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of places where everybody's just been great.
Yeah.
It's hard to choose. We're picking all the nice places.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, we're very likable Canadians. They just think we're Canadian. That's why they like us so much.
That must be it, honestly, and I wouldn't blame them.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. What's up, Canada? Please accept me as almost one of your own.
You know, when we travel, there's no need to sew a Canadian flag on your backpack. I really think we just need to buy Roots hoodies. That's the official uniform of Canadians anyway.
Oh, hell yeah. I'd be okay with that. That store's super cute.
And it's all so cozy.
Yeah. Well done, Canada. But really, I want to know, who's the most interesting person you've met so far? Sarah's like, nobody, because I interact with no one.
I don't know. We've met so many people, and I'm just running through, like, a list of faces in my mind. There was that nun staying in one of the hostels we were at who just kept saying stuff that made you go, what? Okay. Interesting. You don't see a lot of nuns in hostels.
No, but I do love seeing, like, a nun out in the wild. For some reason, it brings me such joy.
Because at any moment, she could break out into song like she's one of the characters in Sister Act.
I would not be opposed to that at all. If Whoopi pops out and she starts singing along too, even better.
Fun fact about Whoopi, she doesn't have eyebrows, which is a thing you don't
Yes, I've known this.
It's a thing that you don't necessarily notice until it gets pointed out to you, and then you cannot unsee it.
I've known this for a long time.
I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it until I watched Sister Act a couple months ago with my niece and my sister online, social distancing. And I was like, why is her face so shiny? Oh my god, where are those eyebrows?
She doesn't need him. That's the beauty of Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere someone told her that her eyebrows distracted from her beautiful eyes, so she started shaving them. I was like, I feel
Best
like
choice.
Eyebrows are way less distracting than no eyebrows.
Except for her.
I guess.
She does not need them. Her face is perfect without them. Though I am curious to see her with eyebrows. But
I can't picture it.
Doesn't need them. Yeah. It like doesn't make sense because you're so used to seeing her without eyebrows.
This is true.
Wait, has that been your scariest moment?
Noticing Whoopi doesn't have eyebrows?
Yeah.
No.
That doesn't quite have to do anything with travel, but what has been your scariest travel moment?
Probably when I got lost in the middle of the night in Italy. I thought I could walk back up to the Airbnb I was staying at, but I neither realized how far it was, nor did I have enough battery on my phone to use the maps. So I ended up just I just walked into a pizzeria and was like, I don't know how to get back. Can you call me a cab? And the chef's mother and father ended up driving me back up to the Airbnb. But before I ever wandered in there, like, I was literally walking for about 2 hours in the dark without a light on unlit streets, and I could hear things scampering around me that were what sounded to be significantly larger than a rat.
Yeah, it was the Italian street cats.
Could be, but I don't know
if those are a thing. I'm just choosing to tell myself they were cats.
Yeah, I tried telling myself that. Like, I literally was just wandering in the dark towards the nearest light I could find, and it happened to be a restaurant.
Yay!
Yay, that was fun.
You survived. You learned. Sorta.
Oh,
You did it again in China, but...
But that wasn't in the dark, so that makes it better.
Oh, okay.
That was broad daylight, and I was sunburned.
Speaking about Asia, let's talk about toilets.
Okay.
Squat toilets or Western?
Japanese toilets.
Yeah, I was gonna say. The ones with all the buttons.
The more buttons basically, a toilet with that many buttons effectively also becomes a video game. It's like, what happens when I push this button? Oh, nope, that was the wrong choice. I don't have anything against squat toilets,
is it
though.
fun. Squat toilets are a little complicated and require more balance than I have on most days.
I didn't find them particularly challenging.
There's an art to them.
I wouldn't have any problem using one again. Call me again in 50 years and maybe I will.
Well, it's fine when they have like the bar for support, but I want the one with all the buttons.
Yeah. The butt jet's real fun.
Along with the heater dryer thing.
It's like, oh, that's toasty. Oh, that was toastier than I thought it would be. And at least in those cases, when you sit down and the seat is warm, you can have comfort in the fact that the seat is supposed to be warm.
Right. Not mystery warm.
That's the one good thing about squat toilets is you're not coming in any physical contact with it. So if it's gross, whatever.
Yes. You're not touching it.
Yep.
But give me that support bar just in case.
I saw a great photo once of someone's tip for how to use a squat toilet if you're not used to it. And it involved hanging a scarf over the door and having a friend stand outside to hold on to the other end of the scarf so you can counterbalance each other.
That's a lot of trust.
I don't think we're there yet.
I am not that friend for the counterbalance.
No, I know. Are you done yet? What's that? I can't hear you. I'm gonna let go now. Kerplunk.
No. What's been your most embarrassing moment?
I know. When we were in London, our very first night, was this 2014 or 15? We went and got fish and chips, and I handed the waitress my card to pay. She came back, and because this was sort of like a fairly new travel experience for me, because generally I didn't go into sit down restaurants to get food on previous trips. I would just get stuff at grocery stores. And I asked her oh, is it customary here to tip? And she got kind of annoyed with us and was like, we don't do that here. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't mean, okay, let's go. Zero offense was intended, and I'm sure also on her part. But I was like, you could just say no thanks. That would have been okay.
No, we don't. We don't. You don't have to. We don't do it. Yeah.
I felt so embarrassed. I'm like, I'm not trying to say anything. If tipping is normal here, and since you provided perfectly good, if not excellent service, I would like to tip you. But that was a no-no.
If I'm going to shame you and 5 generations back, then I don't want to do that. Moving right along, how many foreign words have you learned so far?
I mean, I speak a foreign language, so lots?
Way more than me.
Well, I mean, I have to by necessity. That's not really a fair comparison.
Yeah, you made that choice.
Yeah,
for sure.
Solid or terrible life choice? Who knows? I
just thought it was a funny question.
Let me count. Eins, zwei, drei. We're going to be here a while.
You can't just count. That's cheating.
Well, I have to start with the numbers because I know all of those words.
I think I can get to 12. Well, the original question is how many different currencies are you carrying? But that doesn't make sense for either one of us right now, I feel.
I mean,
so
0 at the moment. I don't have any cash.
Same. What's the most different currencies you've had to carry at one time?
Had to carry?
Or ended up carrying?
Ended up carrying,
I think
4. No, 5. Because I would have had, while we were in Asia, I would have had some USD in my pocket. I would have had euros, Chinese, South Korean, and Japanese. So 5. Whereas on our
4.
trip through the Nordics, I never took out any cash.
0. That was crazy and awesome at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I've had 5. Only because I planned ahead and had some Canadian money left over that I brought with me because I'd be spending time in the Vancouver airport. But that was the same Asia adventure. What have you brought that you haven't used? What was the biggest, why did I bring this?
On our last trip, I brought a towel that I literally never once used. And a swimsuit.
Dirty heathen.
I believe it was you who up front was like, we should go to a bathhouse or some natural saunas or whatever. So I brought a swimsuit and a towel, and then you go, why did you bring a towel? Because you told me to. And it turned out you meant a hair towel.
Yes. Yes.
But the problem was I really like that towel, so I didn't want to just donate it somewhere along the way.
You're like, now look at my shawl I wear everywhere we go.
Mm-hmm.
It's just easier to have a microfiber towel to dry my hair quickly and not get potentially hair dye on everything else.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then I frizz less, because the vacation hair isn't always the prettiest, so whatever I can do to help it.
Yep.
What was the most surprise useful thing you ever brought with you?
A carabiner. So I keep my keys on a carabiner, and on one of my trips, I think it was one of my work trips, probably the one to Norway, the strap on my purse had like those big rings that the strap is attached to, like purse body with a ring on either side and the strap attached to the two. Well, one of the rings snapped, and I ended up using the carabiner for the rest of the trip to keep my purse together so that, I could actually hang it around myself.
Instead of lugging it around and swinging it at people.
Which is fun, but a little inconvenient after a while.
What's the best piece of advice, like travel advice, you've ever received?
Remember you can always go back. So
I like it.
Like, it's really easy to get hyper detailed in building itineraries and trying to cram in every single possible thing, but that's not necessarily always possible. Like, life gets in the way, things happen, you can't always cram it all in. And one, don't do that because you'll want some flexibility built into your schedule. And two, it's just not always feasible. Like, you're going to get stressed out trying to check all of your boxes when you can just go back. There's nothing stopping you from going back. Well, I mean, maybe you have circumstances that prevent you from going back. But for most people, just because you've left doesn't mean you can never return.
Yes. Yes, that's very true. I like that. That's probably actually like the best. What's the worst piece of travel advice you've ever received?
Can it be the guy in China who told us we had to get off the bus? Get off here.
Yes.
This is the best place to get off. 4 miles from the wall.
Worst travel advice.
And granted, he wasn't really trying to give us advice, but it was terrible nonetheless.
I mean, like, yes and no. He was trying to give us advice so he could take advantage of, minibus.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think that's probably the worst advice.
If you don't know that story, go back to one of our early episodes. I think it's called Hamburger No Money, where we tell the story of our problems in China. Our misadventures, let's put it that way.
It was misadventures. It was misinformed misadventures.
Well, we were well informed. We actually knew exactly what we were doing, but this guy who was in a position of authority corrected us. Corrected in quotes, and kind of screwed us over.
Huzzah. And finally, for today's Quaranteeny, not my favorite one, but would you rather be rich and ugly or poor and pretty?
Insofar as being rich enables one to travel with more ease, I mean, yeah, rich and ugly. Besides,
same.
Then if anybody were interested in me, I would know by default they're gold digging.
Oh, what if you have the best personality?
I mean, I'd still rather be rich and ugly. Because rich people travel through the world with such ease. Doors just open for them.
Yeah, they got that money. I'd rather be rich and ugly so I can travel and then, like, people won't try and approach me too much.
Yeah, I mean, if you're real hideous, think of the personal security that would lend you.
That's what I'm talking about. Versus poor and pretty, and they're going to rob every $5 that you have.
Exactly.
When you finally, do something. Not my favorite question.
Did you want to add on another?
But it's interesting. Looks aren't everything. Travel is.
Yeah. Sorry, I just used my moose voice on you. Yes, you are correct. He was looking over at me.
On that note, I think that'll wrap us up for this week. You terrible human being, you, Sarah.
Why am I a terrible human being?
But yeah, you're using your dog voice on me.
Well, he just yawned, and normally when he yawns, I'd go, "Oh, yeah, that's a good story." But Then you started talking, and I replied to you in the moose voice. Tell me more. Good story, buddy.
Join us next week for more travel nonsense. I think we're going to read 1-star reviews.
I'm pretty excited. I've got some doozies.
Yeah. We'll have 1-star reviews so we all can have a good laugh. And we might finish this list from thecareerbreaksite.com. Feel free to ask any travel friends, new friends, old friends, any of these questions too. You might learn a thing or two.
And at some point, you're going to have to answer these too.
I'm kind of answering them.
Kinda.
The very last question on this list is probably my absolute favorite, so you'll have to wait and see.
Are you going to give us a teaser?
No, it's great.
Okay, then.
It's just great. No, that is great. This is the question that could make or break us, I think.
Oh, well, now I have to know.
Yeah. But join us next week for more travel-y things. And remember, it's an adventure.
So, Google a list of questions from some random website and ask your friends. That's the best I could come up with. We're just going to have to go with that.
It's literally what I did. I like it. All right. Bye.
Bye. Hi, everybody. Thank you for listening to another episode of Seattle to Unknown. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave a rating on whatever platform you are listening to us on. If you're interested in following us, look us up on Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. We're on all 3 platforms as @C2Unknown. That's SEATO Unknown. Or you can jump right onto our website, www.c2unknown.com. I'm on Twitter and Instagram as @SAR_S, and Mellinda is on both as @HooliganMonster. If you have any travel stories or tips you want to share with us, please reach out to us at our email, which is c2unknown@gmail.com. Thank you, and we hope to see you back here next week. Bye!